My microphone wasn't even on. But yeah. We're animating stills today. I'm just in the workflow. I slept in. As you can tell, I got the bags under my eyes. I'm just... Definitely feels like that. Brushed my teeth, did my stuff. Now I'm here. And I'm waking up, which is good. I have a second window open for composites, so you guys can check that out, what I'm doing. Makes it a little easier on the bottom right. But what I did last night is my artist, Galen Douglas, sent me his still for this animation project. And I did the honors of separating everything. Now, as you notice, I have some daisy chaining going on. And this daisy chaining is good when you have your layered line art on a separate layer as opposed to using it in Toon Boom. So like if you have an artist do line work with their color work, it differentiates. But if you need to manipulate them at the same time, you can connect the two drawings separately, and then you could add your peg after to manipulate that. So for example, I have my peg here for the feet. Obviously I should just rename these, but it's just for me. We're not going to do that. We're just gonna go straight into animation. But if you check this out here, and we go to this guy here, I can line this up and move both of my layers without having to do any, instead of having to set up another peg for layer. Like these two layers are attached, they're gonna deform the same with each other. So if I go here and move that foot around, it's going to take both of them at the same time. Now, I was up for a while because I fixed up this background real quick. I used a perspective to get the warping that I needed. So if you go in here and go to perspective, you could select the item you need, which I did on the bottom layer, which doesn't make sense. And you can move the perspective of the thing, you know? And it'll change the pattern with that perspective. So I wanted like a wide angle shot, and it gave me exactly what I needed. So I can move this. It's probably going to slow me down because it's taking some weight, but yeah, it gave me exactly what I needed. I have this pattern here, and I have it in an area where we're not going to notice too much of the pattern. We're not going to move too much of the body. The body's going to stay where it is. But the real quick thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some deformers on the hands. And we're going to probably animate some tissue coming out of the dispenser, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm probably going to do that frame by frame. So here, let's go here. Drawing. And then I'm gonna add, let's see, we could do this an easy way, and then we could do this the more challenging way, which is drawing it coiling up on itself, which I kind of like, but like I said, we may just make it super slow, very entertaining, and these frames are only gonna do so much. I will, on the other hand, want to animate some things on the feet, so there's a cool thing to do for that, so trip out. We go here, go to this guy here, we're gonna do this thing, which is a freeform mode. Okay, this freeform mode is going to be right above the peg. What I like to do is I like to turn everything off. So let's make sure we have all of these off. We're going to go to just activate this, and we'll do everything in synchronicity. So we'll go and we'll activate this, and I'm just going to be talking as I go. If you join and I'm like not paying attention, it's just because I'm zoning out. I'm kind of locked in, but not at the same time. ADHD meds are definitely doing their job. So at least you have that to look forward to. Activate. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna select these two. I'm gonna pop these guys on here. Now the cool thing about this is that I'll be able to manipulate this piece in a stretch and matte way, which is pretty cool. But as you see, it's kind of shaping everything, and we want it to kind of not do that. So what we're gonna do is go back to our peg tool, and we're gonna move some of these guys. So we're gonna go here. I'm actually just gonna plop them. Laziness, computer may crash. I've been having a lot of this recently, so I'm very responsible. So we just move this guy out to the outsides, and it'll move and pivot the mesh less. Now, if I move this guy out more, we may get some more wiggle room, because the radius that it captures on the mat is a little cooler. So here, let's grab this. We're gonna test it. See that? We get more like foot movement, and everything moves, but it's not too crazy eye capturing, because let me get rid of that, because it's gonna do what we need it to do. So now that we got that one out of the way, we're going to the next layer, which is our first hand. This one's gonna be fairly easy. We're just gonna use one bone. So we got a bone right here, and if we grab, we're gonna clear all the other ones because we don't need those right now. We're gonna grab our pivot point here, and it's gonna stretch through the length of the hand. And what's cool about this is we could stretch the hand, right, and rotate it from that spot. We notice our artist has like a little bit of dirt there, and poopy stain. We can use the cutter to get rid of that. Get our cutter tool, go to whichever layer it's on. Might be on that layer. Or this layer, yeah. No, it's on the drawing there. I don't blame him either, because I do this a lot also. I will draw something, and then as I'm doing my editing, line art, of course. As I'm doing my editing, I'll kind of forget that I have these little things on the side. Like, you know, like when your touch sensitivity on your pad or whatever you're drawing on is a little too sensitive, so sometimes it'll just kind of like ring out what's needed. So let me make sure this is defaults. Move Control Z all the way through this. I'll have to delete the thing again. I need that. I need that. That's the one. These are the Jan Michael Vincents we need. And we only can do 2 Jan Michael Vincents per quadrant. Any more than that, we'll be Michaeling down our Vincents way too much. Because this Jan Michael Vincent already has 2 quadrants. So there'd be 4 Jan Michael Vincents? I think that's how that works. Rick and Morty reference if you don't know. You should know. I'll be ashamed if you don't. Alright, so we got this animation. I got to do the cut thing again. I'm going to cut this guy out right here. That's what we need rid of. It might be on this layer actually. Yep, that's the one we need. Control save, because things are very slow right now. I have part of this project rendering in the background as I'm doing all this So my computer may slow down and I may be, you know, moving around a little bit, like in slow motion. But I got a huge project I'm rendering while I'm doing this. RAM will do that to you. It'll do that to you. Alright, so, that being said, let's do another bone. Pivot here. Grab his control arm just above the finger. I'm going to adjust it because I want it to be centered. And I probably should do that with the other one too. Should be about like right there. If we go back to our other bone, we can modify that too. We can modify anything we want. Okay, so let's do this. I want it through the hand because it'll stretch accordingly. Control save because computer lag. And we're on to the next layer. See, doing things in chunks is just so much easier. I gotta say though, this and this, we don't need these pegs anymore because we have the bone, which will just attach to the larger peg. So if we do actually trip out on this, delete, sorry, just one of those, and then attach the two so that they have a peg to control both of them if we need to. And that comes in handy, man. That comes in handy. Comes in a lot of handy. I'm realizing my gain's all the way down. I'm upping my gain up a little bit so you guys can hear me better. Does that help? No? No? How about that? It's a little better? Right there? Yeah. Right there's a little better. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this guy. We'll get our peg locator, and we're gonna move the peg back here where this little speck of dirt is, which I missed. It's probably going to be another speck of dirt that I have to cut out. So let me make sure we're on the right layer to do that. Alright, so that being said, we have this Jan Michael Vincent over here. And this summer we are going to Michael down our Vincents. Because you see, my father was a very, very angry man. He used to tell me things that upset me because I just wanted a lollipop. So I've been like stuck on like Batman voices, so you'll probably hear that back and forth. Of course, this is a time for things to change. Darkness is your ally, but I've only adopted the dark. Something like that. Something darkness, Batman. Alright, this one we don't need that. Paper towel, we could probably just draw that. We don't need the peg for it yet if we're gonna draw the paper towel. Let's get artsy. Because we have everything we need right now. I think I just need to move this with this guy. So this peg's going to be here. Just because, I mean, we don't need it, but it'll be nice. Alright, that being said, let's get this paper towel done. Okay, pencil. It's going to be the only thing with squiggly lines. I really should just move over to this pencil line, because the texture is not going to be like super crazy since it's still. I'd like everything to match, so let me make sure that's the right width. That's perfect. And let's begin to draw ourselves a paper towel. My, I remember the first time I used a paper towel. I was like, where are the directions for this thing? I don't understand. Is this not just... Wait, hold on. I got like paper towel right there. Boom. I feel like I wanted to do... I should probably make like a white version. Maybe I could use this piss stain. Yeah, let's use piss stain. Yeah, I remember the first time I used paper towels. It was like, geez. How did I... Master of paper towels. Be so fortunate to have paper towels of my own. Let's start with the rip first. We need our pencil actually black. Vectorized line. There we go. Then our fill tool, we gotta make sure this guy fills in together. But I'm gonna do it like in waves, if that makes sense. And the key to this is I'm not gonna... I keep using gun. I gotta be like more pronounced with my words. Like I just gotta be like going to, you know? And we wanna roll, I already messed that one up, into the paper towel. So you end up getting something like that. What I like to do is I like to just mess with these little like nodes on the vector. And that's like another advantage of animating with Toon Boom, is that we have this vectoring, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we're on our line art. To make that smooth, we could just kind of angle it like that. Yeah, you see that? You see that? You see that? G.I. Joe PSs have also been popping up on my mind autistically. Just be like, who wants a body massage? Body massage machine, go. Body massage. I love it. I can't help but not. Okay, so this guy's gonna come out and it's gonna look like it's like flapping because it's just gonna be moved down. I have it in front of this, but it should be behind. Once we get the peg in there, it'll make it a little easier. We could probably manipulate some things to make it work the way we need it to. You'll see like nodes of other things up there that are off right now, but it's okay. Just like Bob Ross said, we don't make mistakes. We make happy little accidents. Batman. Alright. So, we got our paper towel. Now I'm gonna get my brush tool and I'm gonna texture this thing. I'm gonna put some shade on that thing. You know, gotta put a little shade on that thing. Ooh, this one's textured. I like that. What kind of texture is that? That might actually work. We don't need it to fill because we're not circling anything. Let's go like this piss stain. So if we do like maybe white highlights and then we'll do darkness over it. Because the shadows betray you, Batman. No, we'll do the dark first. We'll do piss stain. We'll do another one. We'll do like dark piss stain. Kind of darken the tone a little bit. Where's our value? Yeah, we'll just give it a little bit more darkness. Give it a little bit more Dark Knight, if you know what I mean. New color invented, Dark Piss. That's a good superhero name. If I was a superhero, my name would be Dark Piss. And it would be because I eat the UTI tabs just to make my piss dark. Like for no medical purpose whatsoever. Just so my piss is dark. I'd like to use a cutter on this too, realistically speaking. So we can do that. Let's make another layer that connects to this guy. And then we could add a cutter to it. So let's go add... add close. Alright. I'll put him in front for now. But eventually he's gonna be part of this like little thing here with the mat. But for now we're just gonna use this because I need to get him in place. Alright, so I have my dark piss. I'm going to color my dark piss where he needs to be. It actually feels a little lighter than the piece, so let's see how that looks visually. Okay, that's not bad at all. I kind of like that. Alright, so we got dark piss, which is definitely working. I'm gonna put it in these grooves. I like that it's layered too, because, or not layered but matted, because it's definitely gonna give us that effect that we need. Right here. You think dark pierces your ally? You've only adopted it. That's more like Sean Connery, huh? You guys remember that movie where he was like a dragon? It's like, my name is Sean Connery. I'm a dragon. And you need to steal my scales. Trebek, suck it. I wish we had like a blender tool. I don't think I use blender tools too much in this thing. It's like a hand tool. Yeah, I'd probably have to do this in like CPS if I wanted to do that. Let's see how this looks right now. Let's see how this looks, Batman. Alright, let's see. Actually, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's isolate it. Let me get rid of this top layer real quick. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I really like that one right there. Okay, so let's see. We can drop this here, which mats it, and then like reverse it. No, that has to be the cutter. The cutter has to be for this guy right here. See, what we do is we kiss the Batman. And we just ask, why so serious? We're gonna spank the Batman. And this is like, what do you call it? Like his master plan to show Batman. He's just like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab the Batman and we're gonna spank the Batman, and you know, we're gonna show him one for. That's my impression of the Joker trying to spank Batman. Look at that, we didn't even need to fucking texture grade it or anything. It came out pretty good. Just make sure it's not showing up. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's put a peg on this bad boy. Let's get a master peg. Control P. Boom. This peg, we're going to move it to the top because we want it to go down, you see. My father, he was a peg himself. He liked to be pegged. But my father... I'm sorry. I'm getting a little too artsy in that. Alright. Now we gotta connect everything together in case we need to make, like, easing. Normally you would just make, like, a camera tool, but I like this better because I have everything in this big mess here of things that we're doing. So if you control Shift P, you could either individualize them, and if you control P, it gives them one master peg, which is ideal for us. I'm gonna leave it center too, because if I want to expand it, it's gonna expand open, you know, openly. Let's see. This one says feet, but it's not. It's actually the background. Originally I was going to do this, but I'm just like, I need more collaborators, so I'm going to let a collaborator do this for me. And then we get to give them credits, and it's going to be pretty fucking awesome. Got that? You got that, Batman? Okay. Background. Background. Brain's still working. Give brain time. Give brain reciprocity. Okay, so this towel is going to expand across the effortless time we got here. Let's see if we can just do that. Alright, I'm going to do that guy over here. If you guys want to catch up on lessons, be sure to join my YouTube. And I have a bunch of little snippets that I put on there of like highlights of these things. It really helps people isolate the episode, so you don't gotta go through this hour-long episode of me just babbling about.
Because you see, my father was a very, very hungry man. He would eat pickled meats on Sundays, and he would fart really loud.
Sorry, I think that happened in The Dark Knight, right? As The Dark Knight, he was just like,
my father used to fart on me over and over again. You know what kind of gas does to a man?
This is going to be the special Dark Knight episode. Learn how to animate and listen to the Joker. Alright, so I'm going to do this. And it's slowly going to move out, which looks like that. But as it moves out, we're going to squish it, right? I'm going to squish it like that. So it's going to come out and then squish closed. So we want it there. That's going to be the main peg. Got the audio on. We're gonna make everything visible now. I did the same with this other stilling. I forget how fucking cringe this is. So this is the hand movement. The paper towel is gonna start moving here at a keyframe there. And it's gonna slowly just work its way out. So we're gonna work it out and then squish it, but we want it to like work its way out a little bit more. You see that? Like how it crumples together? That's why we have 3 layers. And we're gonna connect those so it does what we need it to do. Now, I'm gonna do the hands. You see, the hands are gonna come in like this. It's gonna present itself to the Batman, and we're gonna get Batman paper toweled up. You see? Okay, that's a little too creepy. I gotta stop doing that.
I can't help myself.
You guys ever seen Air Force One? I forget that old guy's name. But he's just like, get off my plane. Something about it's just like how he talks is like it fancies my tingles. Alright, let's get everything on like a peg here. Should help us. Huh. Okay, cool. Our hand layer, we're gonna go hand layer 9. If we press O, it'll take us there. And layer 9. I'm gonna like slowly ease them in, but like we're gonna move back. Actually, let's put them where they need to be. And then where they're coming in. So we can move this peg out here to where they're going to be for the dispenser, right? And then we're gonna do a peg here, and I think we can reset it. Doesn't work with pegs. No, it does not work with pegs. Alright, so we'll just move them back. And then these hands, how we're gonna do this is we're gonna kind of like stretch them in so they come in like this.
We're going to do this. Doble io sono mia formaggio.
Sorry, that's Italian. Those are the only phrases you really need to know Italian in, by the way, because I am an Italian expert. Yeah, I took Italian in college, which is absolute bullshit, but it sounds cool, and that's all that matters. As long as you sound cool doing it. These ones we actually have to move over here too. These ones right here. We have our onion skins on like we're doing something with them. Realistically, we're not. We're gonna fart on the Batman. Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing with that. And for these guys, how they're gonna start out is like this and like this. Now, when we connect the dots, right? When we connect the dots, everything should come together. And we may need to do like minimal easing. I just want to emphasize that he has clown shoes on and he's a businessman. Because most businessmen are just fucking clowns for their corporations. I stand behind that belief. You know? I've always been against corporate America. I don't like getting political. Like the left and right, like why? Why can't we just be in between, be happy? I don't know. That's for another day though. But anyways, we got some hands. They're gonna move in place. Check it out. We can do them slow like that. I have a sound effect that I'm actually going to use in editing for this. This was just for this audio we have here is just for animation. So we have them moving in. And it's very, very still. I don't like that too much. We're going to put a little bit of easing on this. So we're just going to kind of move them in here. Same with this guy here. Move them in. And then we're going to give him the original stance back. It's all going to be like on a single frame. And that'll give us more of a realistic look to the movement, even though it's like very slow. See that? It's not that bad. Not that bad. How fucking cringe is this? Oh god. I'm having too much fun with this. You can never have too much fun as an animator. Things just gradually fall into place. Alright, literally all we're doing is animating our paper towel. We're animating a paper towel. That's how kind of the penguin talks in the new Penguin movie. See how much of a difference that is? That's good, that's good. Just slowly work that in there. And then here, we'll give it a little bit more oomph. A little bit more oomph, Batman. You see, my father used to give big stinky farts. He used to fart so much. My father was a very angry farter. I should be the one writing these Batman movies. It should be me. My father was a very stinky man. I'm gonna lose so many subscribers for that. Don't you talk about Batman that way. I will show you. You really upset me. Alright, there's enough of that. The feet. I need to move the feet. Which are down here, I want to say. No, these guys here. We're gonna do some really cringe movements with the feet, so we want to turn everything off again. And we're just gonna do these feet. Is the right ones? No, these are the feet we're looking for. Are they, oh, because the composite is off. I'm so silly. There we go. We're gonna move these feet. These feet are gonna move, whether we like it or not. I don't think the Batman. I don't think the background is visible either. There we go. I'll make it a little easier for us. I want to have them curve in and then flip out. It'll give more of like an ecstasy feeling. and it's going to be very slow. So I will need to go here, activate these guys, and visualize the deformers. And he's going to move his feet in. See how it's kind of like squeezing it? We could fix that by rotating it also. So there's like a rotation button in here. If you zoom in enough. If you zoom in enough, it will give you the option to rotate. See that? That little rotation. You can make them just do whatever you want. If you're a foot person, you may like it.
You see, my father was a very, very stinky man.
I don't like how that's transposing, so I gotta move it so it looks a little bit more natural. I may have to deform the other piece. So we may have to do this. Alright, so let's go to our skin, see what's going on here. There's gonna be like a slight movement. I don't want to move it too much. Okay, so that should look a little bit more natural. And I'm just gonna copy paste them so they're going like this. I like to make it look like he curves up, but we'll see what we can do when we get there. So let's play this through. That's a little too much growth. I see what was going on there. No. It's definitely like a straight line. We want it to curve a little bit more. With the turn though, it looks like it's curving. He's curving his feet in, which is good. That's what we want. So that straightaway animation is definitely working. We need to disconnect this one. And actually, I gotta paste in reverse. So let's do that. So if they curve down, back to where they're supposed to be, and then up. So to get that effect, we're gonna squish it. And then we're gonna like kind of lift. If we curve enough, it'll make it look like he's lifting his feet up. And that might actually help us, because see the curve? How it's visible? See that? That might actually help us in the long run like that. And this movement, this first initial movement is just capturing everything else. So now if we go through our thing, just highlight everything, activate, we should have a nice cringeful scene now. And we'll go to this, we'll do this. There we go. Let's cut this so that we only see what we need to see, turn off the deformers, and we'll hit play and see how this turns out. This will be our final scene. Look at that. Look at that. That looks pretty good. Pretty damn good. We did this in the matter of a few minutes. We did this in like, well, I mean, I did put a lot of effort and setup, but in terms of animation, 40 minutes is pretty good. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm doing animation for the final animation sequence for my next animation. It's a story that is based off actual events, and animating other people's stills is kind of like very, very satisfying to me. Sorry, like I zone out a lot while you guys are chatting. So, hi UVA53. If I ignored you, I apologize. I do tend to have a little bit of dissociation when I start doing these because I get so immersed. But what exactly it's doing is very, very essential to what we need. So our animation's doing what it needs. Check it out. All right. Well, this has been my TikTok live. Be sure to go to my website. I have a ton of new art, a ton of new merch, a ton of new product. I have a ton of new content, pages that are up. You join our art community and our mailing list, you will get the chance to win free merch on the house from this guy. I have about 3 winners that could win free merch. You have to set up your email with my newsletter so that it's the same as your socials, and my tracker will be able to go through and count your engagement towards your points and tickets for the raffle, which is pretty cool. Like, you think about it, like, I'm pretty sure they got like some weird AI doing that shit, you know, and it's not like some weird dude like at TSA or like the FBI, like just like jorking his schlong. But yeah, it tracks your likes, your interactions, and for every interaction, like, subscribe, or whatever you participate in, you get points on that raffle to win free stuff. And when you sign up with that same email on my mailing list, I'll be able to forward you the codes to get your free merch. So be sure to go onto my website, ludeconcepts.com. And at the bottom of the first page, you should see the subscription to my newsletter. And that's LUDECONcepts.com. So yeah, until next time, guys, I will see you later. Thank you for joining my stream.